So now let's talk about comments. Well, the thing with comments is they are debated. Technically, when you think back to the first video, you shouldn't need them because clean code should be just humanly readable. It should stand on its own. However, there are some cases where comments are very much needed. So for example, if you're taking some open source software, you sometimes need to enter legal comments. Sometimes you find yourself in the need to communicate more. And comments can sometimes be useful as headers, though again, your code usually shouldn't be so long that you really need headers. The problem with comments is they can easily become outdated, they become false, and also they can clutter up the visuals. So this is how I use comments most often, because I kind of got used to it. I kind of like it. I find this kind of useful. So here you see that I have defined every variable a little bit more, because it allows me, when I open up a script, to know how a variable is used in addition to the name. So for example, most importantly here, the trash increase factor, I noted here that I can use this for balancing. So if the game is too hard, too easy, I should increase this factor. However, at a later point during the coding, it could have very well been that the trash increase factor should no longer be used in that way. And then remembering to also adjust this comment does not always happen. So how should comments not be used? Have a look at this. Think back to the example before in the last video. Detect player is the function that we refer to in the circle behavior function. This is how it actually looks, and you see that this is a handful. However, you can see here always headers. Oh, the player is above me. It does something quite a lot, and then it will return above. Okay, player is below me. Okay, it will apparently cycle through all of these things. Then here is just a line. Okay, so I guess this is a new section in the code. And then it will have here player is right and above me. Okay, so it does more here. You can see that this is kind of hard to read. On the one hand, you have these very long statements that are kind of hard to just read. Think back to naming things, pos x, pos y. That is not really readable out loud very nicely, not how we would normally read text. So apparently while writing this, I made the decision, oh, this is not very easily understandable right out of the gate, so I use a comment to fix my bad naming mistake I made here. Let's see how we can fix this. Well, just from the height, you can already see something changed here. Well, the comments are gone. You can see now player position Y is bigger than my position Y, and the player position X is also my position X. So you can see that just from this very small, very readable statement, okay, this just checks if the player is above me. If so, it will return above. Likewise, player position Y is smaller than my position Y. Okay, player is below me. Likewise, player position Y is the same as my position Y, so it's somewhere on the x-axis here. Oh, player position X is smaller than my position X. Okay, player is to the right. You see, we were able to both condense the code physically. It is now way smaller. It is way more easily readable, and we do not need the comments at all. Right? So here you can see comments were used to fix a bad naming mistakes. This is why some people argue that comments should not be used. On the other hand, thinking back to two examples before, if you use comments to clarify variables for you, to give you a little pointer in the beginning of your script, hey, what is the script about? That is perfectly fine. It can help you, but keep in mind, when you start reshuffling your code, think about the comments that you have in there, because if you end up with comments that are out of date, they can start doing actual harm when other people start trying to read your code.